Over the years, I've observed tens of thousands of people as they've learned the principles of real love. Their initial reactions are fairly predictable. Roughly 90% of them are fascinated. They recognize the truth of these principles and are excited at the prospect that real love could change their lives. And then, reality sets in. They discover that simply going to a seminar or reading a book is not enough to change the course of a lifetime. They discover that they actually have to persist in applying the principles they have learned, that it takes more than a couple of days to fill up the emptiness created by a lifetime of not getting the love they've needed. And when they don't experience a complete change of life in a few days, most people slide back into their old habits, their old and familiar patterns of behavior. And that is so very understandable. After all, they've been living in these patterns for decades. They're used to them. Even though they've never found genuine happiness with those old ways, they're comfortable with them. They can still experience moments of satisfaction from the imitation love they get from them. And in a state of almost complete emptiness, those moments of temporary satisfaction can actually feel like a kind of happiness. Years ago, I saw a television commercial for an oil filter made by the Fram company. An auto mechanic sat alone in his shop, holding a filter in his hand. He described a customer who earlier that day had brought in his car for engine repairs. The bill came to something like $1,500. It was a lot. The mechanic said, "You know, a year ago I told him he needed to change his oil regularly, and every time he should put in a new Fram oil filter. But no, he thought he'd save himself some money. He used one of those cheap filters, and now look where he is. So, like I say, you can pay me a little more now, or you can pay me a lot more later." I counsel with individuals and couples all over the world, from every imaginable walk of life. They bring their lives and their relationships for repair, and in every case, I can see the catastrophic results of their not performing the regular maintenance that was available to them. I get to see what happens when they don't change their oil regularly. So, what can we do to change our oil? What can we do that would be the minimum effort now to prevent the disasters that cause so much pain and require so much effort later? We'll talk about that in our next session.